Right everyone, I'm live now, so if you've got any questions to ask me, feel free to do so. Honestly, I don't know what to talk about, so if you've got any questions, feel free. I don't know how long I'm going to live for. Well, it depends on how much interest I get or how many questions in precise I get here. So yeah, it should be all fun. Hey, God, what a boring day it's been today, I'll take that. Apparently it's just sunny in Redcar, so not much excitement. Even though it's bloody damn cold, that's for certain. Also, if people are not aware that I'm going on holidays for Malta and Portugal for this year, next year, I'm also going to England as well with family, as well as my sister's kids. I don't know what to do really. Well, apparently my internet just crashed. Wonderful. That's something that was a bit unexpected. If anything, that. Hey, God. If you still got any questions, ask me anything. Just remember, there's not inappropriate words allowed on live stream. So, well, wait, I'm just going to let you know a few things. So basically, dollars this year I'm going to is Malta for 2 weeks. And then I'm going to England this year for 1 week. And then next year, Portugal for 2 weeks. So, like I said in my previous video, I don't know for certain if whether or not my video for my live stream is going to work. There's no guarantees. So it's possible that I might have to pre-record my videos while I'm there, because I don't know what the Wi-Fi is like. The Wi-Fi could be good, it could be absolutely shit. I don't know. But time will tell. I resume. Also, just came from the pictures last night to watch Titanic anniversary. Didn't think much to it, even though it's been donkey's years since the last time I actually watched the film. And that was at Cineworld Cinema in Middlesbrough. Didn't think much to it, like I said. And if anything, I mean, Cineworld, there's just not much to really watch, even though Redcar's got its own cinema. But then they don't actually offer what Cineworld does in terms of like the unlimited cards. Even though people think, oh, they do, but technically they don't. Basically, at Cineworld, you pay a monthly fee and go as many times as you want without paying. The only time you have to pay is 4DX and 3D. But from what I've been told, is that the only time you don't pay for 3D is once you get the black card. And I think that takes about a year, depending on how long you're being with them. Where the Redcar cinema, it's like a yearly fee, but then you still have to pay an upfront fee, which I totally disagree with. So that's the reason why I just prefer to go to cinemas, even though it's going to take me an hour on the bus to get there, but then it's better than just bloody paying every single day just to watch the film. And that was another thing as well. And before I forget, when it comes to booking with travel agents, especially when it comes to things like currency exchange, I would advise people not to go to Ramsay's. The reason being is obviously the fact is one of the staff called me a traitor because apparently what happened, I went to Dawson's because also if I booked with them, I get a higher rate, so-called a VIP rate. I don't know how it works precisely, but apparently I think it was like 108 or 109, something I can't remember. But then if booked with them and you exchange your currency rate with them, they give you like a VIP rate, which means like you get 110. But then when I told this last from Ramsey asked me, "Oh, where'd you been getting money from?" I said, "Oh, Dawson's." And it's just like, "Well, wow, you're a traitor, are you?" And I was like, "Well, what? How would you dare speak to your customers like that?" The fact is, it's not my fault if their rate is absolutely shit. But what gives her the right? I mean, end of the day, everyone's entitled to shop around and find different rates. Fair enough, I understand. So yeah, absolutely disgusting it was. And if people ask me about why do I carry a body camera for, which obviously I've said to them numerous occasions, the reason why is the fact that if no one is aware, I was assaulted on the crossings, Redcar crossings. Actually, physically on the crossing that night. I was coming up from Middlesbrough. Unfortunately, due to the train under not my control, was running late. That was the reason why I arrived at my destination late at night. It was bitter cold, and unfortunately, if I had no witnesses there, this bitch is called Dean Hotwood and Andy Jones. Andy Jones is the one who's well-known Redcar. He's been in prison God's many times. I wouldn't know what he looks like now. I wouldn't be able to find him, same as bitch Dean Hotwood. But yeah, apparently Dean Hotwood is the one who kicked me in the head multiple times. And when she and I went to court, her excuse was I possibly ripped her jacket. But then, what gives her the excuse? I mean, strange enough, there was a CCTV camera actually there. If I remember right, I'm pretty sure they said that, oh, it doesn't work, it doesn't face that way. So ever since then, that's the reason why I carry a body camera for. Now, there's been a lot of what's the word? People use Chinese whispers. People thinking I like film kids, and I remember when those lads in Asda, if you're watching, when you called me a paedophile. Yeah, I still remember that, and I still got your footage. And somehow I also saw you take a picture of the flat. And I don't know who it was precisely, but I can imagine one of those kids would do it. But if those two kids from that large group of kids were watching this live stream now, I've got your names and I've got your school's names. And if I wanted to, if this live stream was well over 1,000 people watching, I would tell every single person your name, your address of that school, where you go to. And there's nothing you can do about it, people. So you got to think twice before you start targeting people with a disability. Don't use your age and excuse people. That's guaranteed. Because eventually, if you do something else beforehand, a lot older, you can guarantee one of these days, which I'll say, I'm not going to help you there, is that someone bigger than me, tougher than me, is going to hit you. And I'll just have to stand there and just laugh at you because how pathetic you are because you think they're fucking tough. Well, you're not. You're absolutely just fucking childish. And apparently this so-called school that there's Legos too. Wow. Apparently it's supposed to be a naughty school, eh? Aye, definitely. But anyway, enough that bloody rant. What I was going to talk about? Well, there's not really a lot to talk about, is there? Apart from just sitting here, just being bored. Obviously, you can't actually have any music in the background because obviously YouTube's absolutely strict when it comes to background music. And I remember one last time when I had a video on Facebook many years ago, and then I got a notification from Facebook saying that, you've got some copyrighted music. And I was like, well, what do you mean copyrighted music? And the fact is, that's the reason why. So that was a bit of a shock. I was like, oh, I don't fucking care. I mean, what are you going to do, Facebook? Are you going to like sue me or something? Because over what? A fucking background video? Just because my video had some sort of a background music, but then we aren't using the Alexas. We use the old-fashioned radios. So you can understand exactly what it was like, especially when it comes to things like copyrighted music. Oh, it's quite annoying, especially when you're trying to make a presentation or some sort of video. And I thought, oh, that's nice music. I'll add that to the background. But then, as soon as you put on Facebook or YouTube, people, they're like, fuck this, we're gonna copyright strike you for that. So, yeah, that was a bit of a shock if you ask me. Because it doesn't apply to me, people. It applies to absolutely everyone. That's not really going. Because I came up on from last night and fucking I'm tight shit. So, yeah. But I don't know what my hotel was going to be like in terms of the rooms. Even though there's been a lot of negative reviews about it. Stating that, this room wasn't advertised as a so-and-so. And, yes, the hotels that I'm staying at are both half-board. And, speaking of half-board, Joe, I probably will make a separate video from this live stream so everyone is aware. That's all I'm saying, people. Half-board does include drinks. And no, I don't mean drinks like, if you mean like booze, no, it's like, I mean like people like me who drink soft drinks. And yeah, apparently what they're saying that half-board actually includes your breakfast and your lunch. Is like in the UK, we have breakfast, lunch, and tea and supper. Where in a foreign country with half-board, it's just like your breakfast and your even meal. I think they call that something. I'm not sure, but best way to put it is just like your lunch, like here at 12 o'clock lunch. And I was like, well, what do you mean? They don't actually offer like drinks. And I was like, oh no, if you go half-board, they don't include drinks. You have to pay it separately. So yeah, I don't know how much it's going to cost me or cost people. One thing is, I've looked online on YouTube precisely, like looking for things to do in Portugal and Malta, and there's not much there. And maybe, like I said, I'm booked with Dawson's for Malta, and then obviously the airline I'm flying with Jet2 holidays. But in terms of things like I'm going with Jet2 directly. That's both my holiday and also the airline. But then when it comes to my exchange rate, then obviously I'm going to lose some bits of it, but not a great deal. But then again, I mean, the currency is absolutely just shit. Because when people say, like, oh, I'll just exchange it at a so-and-so date, just thinks I'm exchanging today. You know, you might get a better rate today, you might get a shit rate today. I don't know, because I can't predict the future. But what I can say is, do what I do every time I got paid. If I have to pay my own bills, of course, but the eyes irritate me now, is to exchange a currency. Could say, wait 1 second. And where to go to? Well, it depends on the question about it. Well, that's the reason why I went with Dawson's for. Well, it seems I'm flying with Jet2 in terms of like my holiday. Then yeah, I'm going to lose a bit of a rate, but then I'm above because like I like to branch out different avenues. I like to see how much confidence they can give me as an independent adult. Because bear in mind, everyone's different, and I respect that. But then when it comes to like things like competition, which I don't really agree with, and I don't agree with when she said to me, "Oh, you're a traitor now because I'm using Dawson's." But then what's funny is when these foreign exchange places say that, "Oh, we can give you a better rate." So then you think, okay, then how much is your rate? Why not write it down? Or unless you've got a good memory, which also I haven't. And then write it down, think, okay, this is how much this place is going to give me. I'm going to go shop around just to see who can give them a better rate. Once you find out, go to that place. But then don't, obviously, it's up to you, but I'll say I would advise not to, is tell people, especially in Ramsey's, don't tell people where you got your currency from. Because then you say, oh, you're a traitor, and what's next? You're going to get bad from all the shops because you went to one of the competitions. Absolutely, it's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic it is. So, yeah, I just don't agree with that. It's almost gone. It's almost 9 o'clock now. I've been live streaming for about almost 18 minutes now. Not much to do apart from just sitting here, just be bored. People ask me, do I have any kids? No, I don't. Even though I want kids, I want my own family, but nah, where the costs going up, not worth it. Even though when people say, oh, have kids is good, I say, yeah, if you're up for the challenge and if you don't mind doing all this kiddie stuff, yeah, go ahead. But from my point of view, if I was to have kids, I just want one kid only, not be it. Because if you have more than one, which I sort of do remember is when the government said every time you have a child, we give you more money. But now, because the people abuse the system, it's been stopped. It's been completely scrapped. Which also I agree with. I just don't agree with, oh, it's like another source of income for the families. You know, when there's decent people out there who need that sort of money. But thanks to them, that's not going to happen. So, yeah. And another thing people as well, I need to advise you, there is a lot of scams going on. Twitter bots, the porn bots, as I mentioned in my previous videos, they still are again people promoting the same links, even though they do try and use different like links, but it's pretty much going to the same site. The only difference is it's like an affiliate kind of link, but it's promoting porn. So if you check my other video about bots following me on Twitter and etc., you will see my video pop up there on the YouTube list, especially my channel. Because I'm just trying to raise awareness about these porn bots. And I strongly advise people, especially if you've got kids, not to let them join YouTube or any social platform for that matter, because you can guarantee you're going to get some lot of sickos. Absolutely a lot of them. So, in terms of Redcar, because that's where I'm from, it's shit people, absolutely shit. But that's my opinion. Sure, we got the Redcar beach, but then that's fucking filthy and shit. I remember that day when Redcar beach was absolutely swamped with junk. And when I mean junk people, I mean, oh fuck me, you've never seen how bad it was that night. It was the busiest period Redcar actually had, and the whole beach was just littered. And I'm pretty sure there was a news article about it, but I can't remember what it's called, but I have to look up somewhere for you. So, yeah. In terms of record shop-wise, there's not much to do here. I mean, if anything, it's like more charity shops than anything else. People are demanding, we want some decent shops, but then the council's like, oh no, we're going to waste our tax money on stupid shit that people like us don't need. So, yeah, that's the council for you. Regarding crime rate in Redcar, if you're wanting to rent or live here, people, best places to not stay with Queen Street. Don't go on Queen Street. You know, us Redcar people, we call it the drug street because it's well known for people doing drugs down there, which is a bit of a shock considering that Redcar is supposed to be a very low crime rate area and a quiet place, unlike Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough is like a well-known drug place. It's like a wave, like sending from Middlesbrough into Redcar. Absolutely just fucking disgusting. And I still remember those years before COVID was a thing. When we had the fun fair, it was the Redcar Cross Fair, it was called. And yeah, I remember the rides used to be about, I think about $200-350 a ride, and that was pretty expensive. But then you got to understand, people at that time there was nothing else to do. But then all I did personally, is bring people from Mask, Gisborough, all the way down the area into Redcar, and it was like a crime wave where two gangs would match up at this destination and start fighting. Considering that, you know, this fun fair is supposed to like families only. And sure, I went to this fun fair plenty of times, but then I got to the point where it's just too expensive. And ever since after COVID happened, that was it. And I think to myself, well, COVID is no longer a thing now. Everyone's gone back to the usual routine. But then obviously the fun fair doesn't seem to happen. The only place that I'm noticing to happen, oddly enough, is in Redcar Middlesbrough. And if I remember rightly, don't mind, I think it's in Stewart's Park. And how much the rides is now, I wouldn't have a clue. If you do remember, people, I also made a video where I was ripping down those posters. It wasn't the fun fair ones, it was more of these the circus posters. Because a friend of mine called, which I won't mention her name, she's a very close friend of mine, very nice. She's very polite. She runs a shop in Redcar called Under a Spell. And she basically told me then one particular day, some guy from the sounds of it, she basically just told me that he basically put the post on her shop wall, even though she said no, God knows how many times, and just as soon as she turned it back, there it was up there. hang on, people. Just gonna let you know. Billy Crow's machine that came to Redcar Fair and now at Scarborough and don't show it in the summer. There's a reason why that George Baker. Because like the fun fairs we have now, it's like your usual theme park ones, which is Flamingo and Norton Towers and Lapwell Valley. We don't get these fun fairs. They come to our place now, unfortunately enough. So yeah, back to the game posters. Yeah, I did a live stream. It was a short ones, and I started ripping those posters down. But then people look at me thinking, like, what am I doing it for? And so, well, obviously they don't have permission. I don't think, oh, Lower Park Scarborough. Right. Lower Park Scarborough. Right, thanks, George. And yeah. And one person approached me saying, "Oh, I see written on junk posters." I said, "Yep." I mean, why not? I mean, someone let's call it said to me, "It's a crime." And I think to myself, well, how's it a crime ripping those junk posters down? The fact is, if we did it, people, we would fucking fine to it. But it's okay for them fuckers to do it, though, isn't it? Oh, then again, it's one roof for them, one roof for us, isn't it? Pretty much, yeah. Bit of a shocker, if you ask me. I just don't agree how they can get away with it. I mean, I just like that time when I think it was Lloyd's TSB Bank, one of the shops where it was abandoned. And how can I put it? It's just like this like whole wall behind me, and it just looked like an absolute mess. I'll just crash my live stream 1 second. George Baker, there is an exemption in the Town and Country Plan Act for posters for temporary events. There's an exemption in the Town and Country Plan. Is that true, George? Because I don't actually agree with it. I mean, it's okay for them to put posters on our shops and just like leave them, like, even though it's temporary, not George. I mean, if I was an investor, which also I'm not, if I was, and I saw that, I thought, well, I'm not going to fucking rent a shop here because obviously these posters have been splattered everywhere. I just don't agree with it. It just shouldn't be allowed. Literally, it should not be allowed at all. I don't know, people. It's just gone 9 o'clock and almost 30 minutes into live stream. And I've just got a message from Discord. 1 second, people. Right, so I'll just message someone back on Discord. Well, at least the sun's out. Not much excitement for the sun. So yeah, Peter, is there any like questions you want to ask me? Are you doing pancake day today? No, George. I'm not a fan. I don't like cooking. I'm not exactly a person for cooking. Even though I've been taught at school how to cook and stuff like that, but then I just don't like it. Reason why I don't like cooking, because also due to my disability, which I've got, I wouldn't risk it. The last thing I want is for my so-called place I live to be set alight, and then for it to go bang, and that's it. I just want to risk it. So when it comes to cooking, all I use is like an air fryer, microwave, and stuff like that. Message on Discord again. Once I can play it all. Right, I'm back. If anything, people, I mean, Middlesbrough for Redcar is shit. And if people aren't aware, before I forget as well, if anyone knows the name of Bradley Grimes, if not, he used to go to my school, and then at one point, way before COVID, it was a thing again. In my sense, he said to me, "Oh, if I pay him, he'll commit any crime you want." That was his exact words. And now, if you look up his name called Redcar Grimes, Homer's beggar, you find where he's been basically caught begging. He's been banned multiple times for asking people for money. And I think to myself, well, he's not even homeless. And then we also found out most of these other people who are actually supposed to be homeless aren't homeless. Basically, what they're doing is that they're pretending to be homeless and begging for money. But where Redcar Grimes, in one particular time, was in Middlesbrough, I think he really wanted to assault an actual warden because obviously he got told to get moved on. And his attitude since he left school, it's just why. And then we also found out he's been offered help and he's refused it. And you think to myself, well, why? Why beg on the streets? And you think to yourself, well, I'm very homeless. And also my landlord at the time, he also told me he was also caught doing drugs. He had a needle in his hand and he got banned. Which I think to myself, well, that's no surprise. Oh, I messaged in Discord. 1 second, people. So, yeah. So, has anyone got any plans this year? Any holidays planned? Anything exciting? Or is it just the same old shit, people? Almost 35 minutes into the live stream. I don't know how long I'm going to keep live stream for, people like. Well, it won't be a long one. Going to Thailand in this winter. Look at you, George. Whereabouts in Thailand? Anywhere nice? Best place I've been to is Pattaya in Thailand. I was there with my uncle, my family. And that was for a month. And if people want to know what I did in Thailand, I did a lot of things. I went to the dolphin swim, which I got those videos there. I've also did sitting on a crocodile, holding one, sitting next to a white tiger. Hi, Shane. So yeah, but things I'll be doing more is just based somewhat the same as what I did in Thailand, swim the dolphins and Pattaya and BKK. Never heard of BKK in Thailand, but all right. But if anyone's got to Thailand, people, I just want you to know it's absolutely humid, like the heat and the midges, and it's like a good mix. Oh god, I suffer with midget bites from my leg, and when you got the sun just beaming down on it, you're constantly scratching. Even though we tried different things to make sure they won't bite us. I don't know, Shane. I really don't know. Probably go to pictures again today. Probably have a walk around Redcar and do a video. I don't know. I don't know. I just wish I was on holiday. That'd be nice. So what about you, Shane? Are you doing anything nice today? Any holidays planned? What's wrong with this bloody chair? It's hard to chop with slow mode on. Yes, I know, George. The reason being because there's like a lot of spam. So if you've got any questions, just try and make sure it's like long questions. Although I'm not considering taking it off next time I do live stream, but that's what most people tend to do, live stream. I don't know if I can turn it off, but I'll look for yours. Yeah, can't do it off on my side while I'm live streaming. So I think I'm gonna have to do it once I've done a live stream. But when I'm gonna do another one, I don't know. Even though I've got one scheduled for multiple, but if there's any Wi-Fi available. And regarding my holiday for next year in Portugal, it's a place called Algarve. I can't pronounce the word properly. In fact, I'll type it in chat here 1 second, people. Just going to find the link for it now. Bear me a second, please. Where is it? Should be this email. 1 second, people. I'm just looking at it now. Here it is. I'm going to put in chat for now, people so you know exactly which place in Portugal I'm going to. It's very hard to pronounce. And the hotel that I'm staying at, if you all want to know, which obviously I'm surprised myself, there was no actual videos to show like around the hotel, unless it's due to laws, I don't know. But apparently there's been complaints saying that the hotel was absolutely shit. So yeah, that's the place in Portugal that I'm staying at, and that's the hotel that I'm staying at for 2 weeks. Half board. Obviously, I have looked on Google to find out how much people would recommend in terms of spending money. People advise to bring, well, you're advised to probably spend about 110 euros per day, which I'm thinking to myself, well, why would anyone want to spend 110 euros per day? I mean, I worked at roughly, I guess, about 1,600 euros, and that is a lot of money, especially like in our currency. I mean, £1,000, crikey, means I can go abroad for that. And if people want to ask me, like, I'm some sort of travel advisor, no, I'm not. But there is videos out there where people have got enough experience to tell you what Portugal or Malta or wherever you want to go to is like. But when it comes to like Thailand people, your best bet is to look at my uncle's channel. His name's called Les Pearson, that's his real name. As far as hotels go, all you need is bed and a shower. Rest of the time, you're out. Yeah, that's true, George. But then when it comes to like money wise, if you are a fussy eater, it's always best to go like half board if possible. Where if you're not a fussy eater and you don't mind doing self catering, then and obviously you've got enough money, then by all means, go like self catering, go out all the time. But I always rather not spend money because you got else. Right, I'm gonna from my uncle's channel, people, and I'll just send a link for it 1 second. So if you look up the channel on YouTube, people, and called Retired and Living the Dream, that's my uncle's channel. So anything to do with Thailand, he's the best person to do it because he's basically a retired fireman. If anyone doesn't know, that's my channel. That's my uncle's channel, people. So anything regarding Thailand, please visit the channel and just ask him. Are you a fussy eater? Why do you like to eat? It's hard to explain, George. It is really hard to explain why I'm a fussy eater. It's just like, how can I put it? If it's the type of food where I don't like the smell or the look of, I won't eat it. And when people say, "Well, why not try it?" I'll say I understand why, but then they got to understand that, well, if I try it and I waste it for whatever reason it may be, then they're going to start whinging. You say, "Well, why did you waste it?" I said, "Well, I did warn you. I might waste it, and I don't want them spending God knows how much it was for me to waste it." So that's the reason why I just stick to whatever I liked in the past ever since. It's just like I used to like broccoli and other vegetables back at school, but now I don't. I just don't know why. But yeah, I still like my pizzas, which is cheese and tomato. But then on the other hand, people say, "Well, do you like cheese and tomato?" No, I don't. No, I don't know. But it's strange and bizarre because like margarita is cheese and tomato, but for some reason I don't taste it, which is a bit of a bonus for me because then I'm actually eating something healthy. But then, like people always say, pizza is fattening. I said, yeah, it is. That's the reason why I normally have a pizza once every month. That's just to make sure I treat myself now and again so that I don't put myself overweight. Even though I've almost been overweight slightly, I was almost 16 bloody stone. And that was due to the amount of garbage and junk I was eating to the point where I just can't be asked. I don't want to be one of those people where they're obese and there's so much fat in them, you just can't budge. So I've basically just tried to persuade myself to not like so-called stress myself, but in terms of like taking it easy with the amount of junk food I'm eating per day. And it's like now I usually eat 1 or 2 yogurts per day, or probably more, because there's not much fattening. And sometimes there's been occasional days where I don't feel hungry, and sometimes I feel so hungry even though I've had a big meal. And I don't know if it's either one, I'm bored, because that's what some people say. It could be due to boredom, and secondly, it could be some sort of a disease where it's making me think, "Oh, I'm hungry," but then on the other hand, your stomach's saying, "You know, we don't need food." I don't think, "Oh, you can eat a pizza once a week and you shouldn't have any problems. You do plenty of walking, so it's not like you aren't active." Yeah, you do have a point, George. But I do walk a lot, George. I do walk literally a lot. Um, the only time I don't walk a lot is when I go to things like Middlesbrough because it's just too far up for me to walk. And that's the reason I get the bus there. But other than that, I walk literally. I even try to do a live stream of me walking and told it was for me to walk from, I think it was from either the South Gare to the Stray Cafe or the Stray Cafe to the South Gare and back. And that was supposed to be a longest walk I ever did. But then my back was running low to the point where I couldn't do it. And also my phone was getting quite hot. Someone's messing with Discord people. 1 second. I'm back. Can you ride a push bike? No, George. I can't ride anything. I can't ride a bike. I can't ride a motorcycle. I can't ride anything that requires balance. I've tried different techniques to improve my balance, but unfortunately, due to my disability and due to my physical problems I've got prematured since I was born, I can't basically I can't do anything. I can't even hold one of my feet in the air without falling because there's a weight difference, which is a bit of annoying and a bit of a nuisance if you ask me. Because if I was to ride a free wheeler, without people will look at me thinking like, "Oh my fucking god, is he riding a kid's like kind of free wheel bike?" Yeah, because I can't fucking ride. I mean, it'd be nice if there was where it would look like 2 wheelers, but in theory it's actually 3. The only difference is it's hidden, but then I don't think that's impossible. And what's next? Can I drive? Technically, I sort of can drive. There is adult traits. Never heard of them, George. Oh, this chair's gonna think this chair's going to really snap on me. Oh. Hang on, people. I'm going to sit down somewhere else. Oh. Bloody nuisance, this. Hopefully that's a bit better now. Almost 50 minutes into the video, almost 1 hour. Fabulous. Sorry about my hand, people. Just gonna plug in my mouse. And if people want to know if I had any pets in the past, I did indeed. I used to own a range of pets, mostly snakes and other reptiles. Do you have any investments? In terms of what, George? Like business-wise, holidays, rentals, what precisely asking in terms of investments? So get back to the pets, people. Basically, I used to own snakes, which were corn snakes, milk snakes. I used to own pythons, which not the big ones, but the royal pythons I used to own. I used to also own baby dragons. And I used to own a king snake. And also I used to own for pets. I used to own dogs. One second, people. Stocks, shares, EFTS or bonds. No, I don't do that sort of thing, George. And I personally disagree with it. Because, like people say, your capital is at risk, which is basically your money. And why would I want to risk all my money? No. I'd just rather keep saving up, I'd just rather spend it on something that I want. And if people want to know if I do have any jobs, I did apply for multiple jobs. Mainly, it was more focused around Cineworld and Flamingoland. And unfortunately enough, the person who I met, he said to me that, "Oh, I'm not going to hire you because obviously that I've been contacted him too many times. I've been pestering him too many times." Which obviously his name's called Sean Kelly. He worked at Finland as a recruitment officer for the staff. When I first met this guy, he was very pleasant and nice to speak to. And then what I didn't know is that he had a dark history of treating his staff absolutely unprofessionally, which is no surprise to why a lot of people have quit the jobs. And you think to yourself, well, what's happening with the caravans? Well, the caravans are just too expensive. People can't afford it. It's like now, last time I checked with Finland, to even put a deposit down, you need £3,000. And then there's also the ground rent, another stuff to pay out. So by the time you try to get your way back, right, it's not worth the money. Even the CEO of Finland, he's a nasty bastard, absolute cruel bastard. I remember that. Hang on. Do you like the ride to Finland? Yes, I do, George. I've also seen the new one called Sick. Sick, yeah. What a fucking stupid name to call the rider. But apparently the reason why, because something about the company made it, sponsored it. I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not. It could be rumours, I don't know for certain. Yeah. I did like England ever since I first went there. Always a big fan. I enjoyed the mascots there. My uncle worked there for a while doing the pirate show. The pirate show. Which pirate shows it? I mean, like the Pirates of Zanzibar one, where there's like on the pirate ship, wasn't it? Or was that Riverside one? What's the best ride there? To be honest, George, I couldn't tell you. Everyone's opinions are different. It depends if you're a thrill seeker. You know, any fast ride. Mumbo Jumbo. Oh shit! I just wish they kept bloody Tide away. That was the best one. And I still remember before they had the took down corkscrew. Oh my god, that how many memories I've had there. Since the day it got took down, me and my sister at the time, I don't know how old I was at the time, and I also remembered the operator said to us that, "Oh, do you want to go around again?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" And there was only me and a few people on corkscrew. Went round twice, and that was it. It was announced to be knocked down and demolished, and it is now demolished because now it's been took over by this new record sick. Yeah, it was on the ship. It was one of the that starts in the Mermaid. Don't know if you remember it. Not I don't no Shane. I mean, the only ones I remembered before it all changed was Riverside One. I remember the mascots there. Mia, Milo, and also the staff. Before it all changed to the pirate show. The only time I remember the pirate show, Shane, was actually the actual original one, where they had different mascots. You had Mia, Milo, Benjamin, and Peanut, and with the pirates. That was actually on the actual boat of the pirate show near the park entrance. That's what I do remember. But I don't remember it being inside, unless you mean actually outside of the Mermaid. Then possibly, yeah. Corkscrew is in France now. Ever since it moved, George, yes, it has, but I don't know if it's still in France. Unless France has decided to scrap it. I don't know. If people want to ask me about Finland, you can do so. I've got a lot of good memories. Hang on, people, I've got someone on Discord. I'm back. It's still there. It's called the Populix now. Oh, really? So, what about the paint scheme, George? Is it still the same, or they changed it then? And also, is the layout still the same, or has that been changed for this new thing? But yeah, in terms of Finland people, yep. I always went there for 2 weeks with family. I always, the staff before I changed were very friendly compared to now. You just think like, why? And surprisingly enough, we've also got coupons at Finland. If anyone's a coupons fan. Yeah, the Couplands. Who thought that? And it's next to the arcades. I've also did a zookeeper for the day, and if anything, people, I didn't think much to it. It was pretty expensive, so I'll advise people not to spend the money on it. But I'm not going to stop you. I mean, I'm just letting you know from my past experience. Even though I've asked people what it was like. Sure, George, you can link here if it's letting you. If not, just if the links doesn't work, George, just like type the actual name for people to look for it, and I'll search it for you. But yeah, back to Finland, people. So yeah, I've also used to had loads of photographs for the mascots, and people were thinking like, well, what sort of mascot are they like? Well, yeah, I don't want people to see it the wrong way. People think I used to like had a crush or date with these mascots, and I thought, oh God, are you seriously? And I used to have loads of photographs with every single mascot you can think of. But one of them was Mia and Milo. That was the first two mascots I used to have loads and loads of photographs with. But at the time, I wasn't exactly a mascot fan because I was more like into the rides. But then I just thought, well, why not? I mean, why the heck? I was going to have a few photographs. I mean, what's wrong with that? It's not exactly it's a crime. And yeah, I also remembered going to the bird aviary. Unfortunately, off because due to the so-called birth thing. Apparently, that's the reason why people can't go in the bird aviary. But then, I'm pretty sure it did say somewhere that this bird flu, it can't be transmitted to humans. So if that's the case, then why concerns like blocking it off? Because all these birds were in aviary, or hang on, people used to say animals in captivity and stuff like that. But all those little kids used to do, people, there's like they used to like sit in your head, groom your hair, pull your hair. If you had any things in your body, they used to try and tear it. But oh shit, there are. But I think they used to like feed from you. You used to buy these little small pots, about probably about this size, and you could feed them. They're only like £1, which wasn't exactly expensive considering that you know you didn't have just one bird feeding; you could have loads of birds coming towards you, and majority of the birds you just sitting you. And at the time before this so-called quote-unquote bird flu or COVID was a thing, they used to sit in my head, and I thought, well, oh okay, that's normal. But then it wasn't just one; it was more like 3 and 4 physically sit in my head, and just like because I used to have quite long hair, they used to get like strings of it and used to pull it. Yeah, pull my hair like I'm some sort of like a bird. Which I thought, oh, okay. So I got my phone out just to make sure that I didn't startle them. But they didn't seem bothered. Like I was simply used to have people have the phones that I'm just like recording, taking pictures. But yeah, it was nice, and especially like the lemurs. That was probably the best one ever. Because I remember doing the lemurs, the giraffes, the penguins. Also, I did the meerkats as well, and also the reptiles. Excuse me, I've got a chesty. Talking too much here. So yeah, my camera's been a bit odd. Trying to autofocus here. What's actually out if it's too much light. Right, hopefully that should do it. So yeah. Right, so I've recorded for an hour live stream, which is good. And it's almost it's not near 10 o'clock, so it's on. So if anyone didn't watch the start of my video, which I did mention at the start, is that I do carry body camera on me. I've also mentioned in terms of like why do I carry my body camera, the reason why. The reason why I carry a body camera is the fact is it's record evidence. And no, I don't go around recording children if that's what people think. But there's something wrong with my camera, it's just content autofocus itself. Right, hopefully that should do it. I wonder if I should like live stream over like 2 hours. Look at the difference, like. Right, if anyone's seen Outside the Wheel of Water, it's very good. In case anyone's asking. I've seen it for years. And it's really good. Especially if you do watch it 4DX. Because like any film basically, it's good in 4DX. Especially when the chairs move. Oh yeah. Not much we do, is there? Video wise. Don't know if actually I'll do a live stream or just start the videos and stuff like that. Oh, that was nothing people right on my mind as well before I forget. So, if anyone knows a site called yarb.com, don't use them. They're an absolute fucking scam. I even did a video about it. About it being a scam to warn people. And then also did an update video about it when I actually called them and recorded it on my phone. Because I remember there used to be an app in the Google Play Store where you could physically record all your calls. And best of all, it didn't tell them you're recording them. So yeah, I basically use that as my advantage, because then just can't say, well, I didn't say that. There's nothing worse where they record yours. We asked them request a copy of that evidence. They just make some sort of excuse stuff. So I think to myself, like, why? Why am I making an excuse up for? Hey, so yeah. And I've heard a lot of games are going absolutely into the shit street. And they're not entirely sure of people where, but one particular game that I was following on social media called Keep the Peace, which is this one, listen, no, 1 second. Basically, the devs have decided to abandon it. Surprise, surprise. So, if anyone's into video games, which I don't know if my audience are, who's watching it now, there's not many police games about. The only one that I know it's called Jurisdiction, which is on Steam. I'll try and find the link for you people. 1 second. Right, I think this is the one. Bear with a second, people. Right, that's the game called Jurisdiction. So if anyone's into like police video games and stuff, I can never find the time to play video games anymore. Any particular reason why, George? It's like, no, I still don't have time to play video games, but then if I'm not doing things, then well, why not? There's nothing else to really do. I also remember I used to play The Division. On my Xbox, and Ubisoft. A terrible company they are. Right, speaking of terrible companies, I heard Just Eat has put their fees up again. And that's nobody's surprise. But the other thing is that I wouldn't recommend Just Eat, Deliveroo, or Uber Eats, because the fees they charge is absolutely just rip off. It is. Work and life gets in the way. Aye. Well, I guess then, George, why not go self-employed? Because then you can work for yourself. Then you can choose the hours you want. And again, speaking of running your own business, yeah, it's impossible now. When people used to say, "Oh, there's grants available," well, technically there isn't, because if there is, I'm pretty sure there's loads of businesses popping up all of a sudden. But no, people can't afford it because the government is just too fucking greedy. Oh, look, what's fucking. It's bloody money. I think it makes the money. That's all I care about. And has anyone, which I don't know if you're certain about, but has anyone else watched a film called? Wait a second, my throat again. A film called Liar Liar Crocodile. Has anyone seen that? It's a very good film. And if people are laughing, which no doubt they do, I've also got a plush toy, which I did a video on, but unfortunately, no, what is it about? Which film, George? You mean Lila Crocodile or Avatar?